Hello, welcome to Invictus Porsche. My name is Basheer Zaheer. Today we've got a 1979 Porsche 911 SE. I don't often say I'm standing next to my dream Porsche 911, but today this is exactly what I'm doing. I am standing next to my dream Porsche 911. And to put this into perspective, we at Invictus Motors, we've had the likes of the 911 GT3 RS, the 911 GT3, the 911 Turbo S's from the various generations. I mean, starting from 993, 996, the 997, the 991s. We've had the brand new Porsche 911 992. But to me, what tops it is this 911 SE. And one of the main factor here is the fact that this has got the historic registration, meaning that no more having to faff around, not being able to drive your 993 into London because you've got to pay £15 in congestion charge and £15 ULEZ. Having it on a historic plate takes all that headache away. But what is extremely eye-catching is the beautiful color scheme that this 911 is finished in. This gorgeous Orkney grey color with this beautiful subtle Porsche stripes at the front. What to me is the more eye-catching features about this 911 is the cosmetic changes that this has gone through to kind of have a touch of the 1992 964. And some of it perhaps from the 964 RS, starting from this beautiful scooped front bumper that is obviously from the 964. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And now coming to the side of the vehicle, you obviously have got the 964 side sills. In terms of the alloys, this is sitting on the 16-inch Speedline rims here, the split rims. And obviously having the black with the silver is a beautiful contrast. From an outlaw point of view, it works extremely well with this 911. Now, coming to the back of it, you've got the carbon ducktail. This is the ducktail that you normally find in the RS 964. And obviously you've got the 964 rear bumper. These are just some of the subtle, beautiful changes that makes this such an eye-catching and an absolutely, sculpture-like, an art-like form that it gives this beautiful, elegant Porsche 911 with the kind of lines it has running and just the overall look to it. And now to kind of put this 911 into perspective and why this is ultimately my dream Porsche 911, we need to get behind the wheel and talk to you a little bit more about what it's like to drive, what it handles, the characteristic, the engagement it offers, and why I'm in absolute love with this 911. If I wasn't doing what I was doing in terms of reviewing cars and selling cars and I had to retire, this would be in my garage without a doubt. Now let's get on with this test drive. Right from the get-go, it is an absolute experience putting the key there in the ignition, turning it on, holding onto that Momo steering wheel, having your seat in the right position, and let's get out there and have a bit of fun. Now we're behind the steering wheel. What is it that this 911 has to offer us? You've got the 5-speed manual transmission, the Momo steering wheel, and under the bonnet at the back, you've got a 3-litre Type 930 flat 6 naturally aspirated engine, which produces 201 brake horsepower, 267 bhp, and in terms of a top speed, this has a top speed of 141 miles per hour. And lastly, in terms of the 0 to 60 miles per hour times, you're looking at that being possible in 6.5 seconds. Now take yourself back to 1979, and what a car this would have been. They're absolutely mind-boggling performance values. And now we are here in 2022. I was at 6,000 RPM in second gear. Now we're into third gear. The older 911s, they have a soul. It's as if it's a living organism. It breathes, and it just is so much fun to drive. It's just the kind of a feeling that you will only get with the older cars. And right from the get-go, when you're sitting behind that steering wheel, you're right up against the windscreen. The interior cabin space feels cozy, intimate, in some ways very tight, very limited. But you know, this is what made the older 911s or the older Porsches still have its keen enthusiasts and admirers that love to buy them, love to do them up and have them as a collector's item in their garages, almost like it's a trophy that you've won during your life. Five and a half, 6,000. Now on to third gear. And how well it picks up speed, and how easy and soft it is to change the gears and put the floor mounted clutch pedal down from first, second, third. It's just so precise, it's so efficient, and it's important having this as part of your older car experience. I mean, it's something that you still need to be able to drive with some sense of easiness. And above all, I think what's very important in the older Porsches is just the overall condition that you buy it in, making sure that it's not going to require another 10, 20,000 pounds spending on. Over the past 9 years, the previous owner, Philip, has thrown all the money that it needed thrown at from addressing the rust issues. The paint is almost as if it is on a brand new 911. The transmission, how well it gets up to speed is phenomenal. It's perfect. I wouldn't have a better 911 out there, especially at the kind of a price this is at. At circa 60,000 pounds, I personally think this is a phenomenal value for money. In terms of the miles it's done right now, you're looking at 38,645 miles. You also get 2 sets of alloys, as well as the current alloys that are on this 911, which is the 16-inch Speedline rims. You also get the Cup 2 sports alloys. I'm having a lot of fun. I can continue driving this for as long as necessary. Just having the fun that I'm having during this test drive, and from the engagement, from the character, from the fact that you've got buttons and everything is very tactile like, and you feel it all. It's all there. It's all functionable. It's the German engineering that we are always so used to. And we're here from our test drive, and that engine, let me get this opened up. It's this view here which so often makes us fall in love with the older 911s. I can just sit here on my stool and just enjoy this view, and this is what gives it a soul. This is what gives it the sound that we normally associate with the naturally aspirated flat six boxer engines. And I mean, what a car, what a Porsche 911. Everything from the carbon 964 RS ducktail, the 964 rear bumper, the side sill, the 964 front scooped bumper. I think this is truly well done, and it is a beautiful 911, both from how it looks, how it drives. It's functional, and it's in the condition that very few 911s out there will be, in this sort of a superbly well maintained condition. So let's talk about the rest of the specs. Let me turn off the engine and continue the review. I've absolutely enjoyed that test drive, and I hope you have too. And let's just talk about why you should buy this and why we bought it as a business, because this was, for us, one of these cars that we like to experience from time to time and have in our stock. Firstly, right from the get-go, what I love about the old school 911s is how the door sounds when you open and close it. This is a very addictive sound. But what convinced us to buy this 911 is in the condition we found this paintwork in. And also, this isn't a biscuity, crusty, rusty 911, because with the kind of age these 911s are, unfortunately, one has to have that nut and bolt restoration. This was in pretty good condition. However, the previous owner did decide to address any rust work found anywhere on the vehicle, so it's in pretty pristine condition overall for its age, and obviously it's done extremely low mileage. Normally the kind of rust areas you would find is around the door area here, on the sills, the front and the back, and these are sort of the kind of key areas that you'll find rust in. Right from the get-go, this has these really eye-catching 964 and the 964 sport seats, and in terms of a factory option, this has the heated front seats and obviously the electric adjustability, four-way adjustability. Now you've got the 5-speed manual transmission, which, as I've talked through the video, I think it gives it that extremely engaging, characterful experience. You've obviously got the added sunroof with the Momo steering wheel, and something that brings this 911 up to date is having a USB connection there. Now let's pop that rear bonnet open and tell you a little bit about the engine, because this is what creates that beautiful 911 sound that we associate the air-cooled 911. This has the Type 930/10 engine, which was replaced because the previous one unfortunately went close to 30 years ago. So this engine is from a 1983 Porsche 911, and as I mentioned, it is actually almost a like-for-like replacement, the 930/10 engine in there. In terms of the servicing history, it's had all the key servicing that it needed. In terms of the carbs have been rebuilt, brand new spark plugs. It's just had a service. This will go through a 111-point health inspection with a Porsche specialist that we work with, and we will have video, photographs, and all the key items we need covering in with a 911 of this age to kind of reassure you that by having it in your garage, you're not sweating. This starts first time every single time, and as illustrated through the test drive, it doesn't miss, a beat. The transmission, the clutch is so precise, changes extremely well, and it's super fun to have one of these driven on long journeys. We collected it from our previous owner, Philip, in Belfast. So my brother drove it all the way from Belfast back to the UK because it's a pleasure to experience this and to go through that sort of a journey. On the V5, it's got practically 2 owners from new. But I think there must have been some sort of an error with DVLA when they issued the V5, and they no longer has kept the record of all the previous owners. So on the V5 registration, it says 2 owners from new, extremely low mileage. As far as I can tell, this is the original mileage that the car, the chassis, the suspension has gone through. Prior to purchasing it, we actually did put it through a health inspection with a Porsche specialist in Belfast, and they gave us all the green light and all the necessary checks in terms of videos, photographs. They were all carried out to tell us to go away and transfer the money into our previous customer's account. The exhaust and all the key critical major items that are within this 911s are all functioning exactly as they should. So hopefully I have done enough to go through this absolutely dream of a 911 and to kind of give you all the information you need to come in and view it, and perhaps if you like it, take it out for a test drive. So just one more time, thank you very much for watching the video, for subscribing, for giving us a thumbs up, because any revenue that we make from our 2 YouTube channels gets donated to charity. They're a UK registered charity, and currently they're in the process of building a school in Afghanistan, so every single penny helps. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.